Hi, my name is Rachel and I'm the Thrifty Crocheter, and today we're going to talk about Decade Divas! Woohoo! This year they did all about the 70s. The creators are Shannon from the Spoonie Stitcher and Teresa from Critters Crochet, and there are 30 of us in this collab this year. Last year they did multiple decades, and for some reason the 70s got taken out. I don't know what happened to the 70s, but they weren't in it last year. They heard all about it. So this year it's all about the 70s. And I was born in the 70s. And this one's not for the Decade Divas, but this was a 70s project that I made for one of my daughters. This was this hat, so if you came from the 70s, you appreciate that. But I will show you the original project until my dog decided that it was his chew toy, because it was made completely out of granny squares. Because granny squares seemed to be the thing for the 70s. Find the colorized picture. Now I have, oh, here we go. It was this kitty cat. I had all the squares made. I just said, and I was starting to put them all together, and then he decided, no, he decided to play. He was part cat and decided to play with the yarn and chew everything up. So that took care of that. But interesting enough, I found this. This one's actually from, but I also found this very exact same pattern in a book that came from the 70s. So it originally was the 70s pattern. And if you're also from the 70s, you could have made dolls. You could have made blankets. You could have made a blanket like that. Blankets like these. Could have made doggies. Big old cushion. Clothes. Some scarves. Sweaters. Little girl's dress. Little baby outfit. Another little tunic. And even Christmas items were made back in the 70s. But I will tell you, my project I did make came from this. This was printed in 1970. Old and new favorites. And because it was so late in the time, I was only able to get one square done. And that's because it's for, if you wouldn't make all of them, it makes this big old bedspread. I did not have time to make an entire bedspread. It's old and new favorites. And it's crochet popcorn bedspread, and I used a steel crochet hook, my Boyd's steel crochet hook. I used a 00. And to give reference, here's the 00 and here's the other steel hooks, if you know what they are like. Yes, I used a 00 to make the square. But I can remember my folks having bedspreads that looked similar to this pattern. And I used this yarn, which was Sayel yarn, which I looked up. The company, I believe, originated in the 70s and went through the 80s. So this is some really, really old yarn. And it still held up good. And like I said, and look at this. Look how big this square is. And this is with a 00 steel hook. Let's see. It's like 10 inches long. About 10 inches wide. It's like 10 by 10. That's a pretty big square. And it's got, I'll bring it up closer so you can see all the little popcorns. That's a lot of popcorn. It was very, very time consuming just to make one square. I don't know if I would have the time and the effort to be able to make an entire bedspread, because it takes quite a bit. For a single size spread, make 12 rows of 20 motifs. For a double size, make 16 rows of 20 motifs. Sew the motifs neatly together. Block to measurements. Wow. Can you imagine having to make all those squares, block them, and then sew them together? That's a lot. That is a lot to do. But I was born 1973. So that tells you how old I am. And I've been crocheting for about, like, I picked it up again probably a little over 20 years ago. I've been crocheting ever since. But Decade Divas, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, there's 30 of us that are in it. Go watch everybody on the playlist. I will have in the description, both the Spoonie Stitcher and Critters Crochet. Like I said, last year they did several decades and somehow the 70s got missed and they heard all about it. So this year it's nothing but the 70s. So everybody is making projects that are from the 70s. And go watch everybody's videos and have fun seeing everybody. And also, for this week, the other person that's going to have their video is Handcrafted by Jackie, and it's Jackie. Is her name. And I will have everybody that's in it in the playlist. So, just to give you a heads up of everybody that's in it. But I will have them in the description box. Decade Divas from the 70s. And I hope you have enjoyed this little video. And you all have a very, very cool day, man. Love y'all. Bye.